If you wanted to be an entrepreneur in the 1970s or the 1980s or even the 1990s, it was very, very difficult because you had to learn about advertising in newspapers and magazines, and you had to learn about direct mail. Very, very difficult methods of finding an audience and then offering them something. Nowadays, everything is online, and it's so much cheaper and easier than it was in those days. These ad platforms are light years easier to use than all of those old school methods. But that doesn't make them any less confusing for someone just starting out. So, over the next few episodes of Tiny Toots, I'd like to introduce you to the Facebook ads platform and help demystify it for you. So let's roll that intro and dive right into Facebook Ads 101. And start sending to them on that basis. In MailChimp, when starting any email, so the first thing that you need to know about Facebook ads is the 3 levels of a Facebook ad campaign. In this episode, we're going to be talking about those 3 levels of a Facebook ad campaign and the different objectives that you can have your Facebook ad campaign be all about. So 3 levels of a Facebook ad campaign. Those are the campaign level, the ad set level, and the ad level. At the campaign level of an ad campaign, we set the objective of the ad campaign, the name of the ad campaign, and then the buying type and a few other settings. Those other settings we won't get into in this episode because they're kind of confusing and not as important as what you're going to learn right now. At the ad set level of a campaign, we set things like the audience, the budget, the placement, which means where is your ad going to show up. And then we set how this ad set is going to optimize. So how is it going to better itself over time to get you the result you want? At the ad set level, you also set the schedule for your campaign. So if you're running a time-limited campaign, then you can set an end date, you can set a start date. The ad set level is one of the more complex and important parts of a Facebook ad campaign. Within a given campaign, there can be multiple ad sets. So you could have multiple ad sets that go to different audiences on different schedules with different placements. So you might have a campaign that's just got 3 ad sets that are only different by their audience. Nothing else is different about them. Or you can differentiate them by the placement type. So you might have 3 ad sets going to Facebook and then the exact same 3 ad sets in terms of audience going to Instagram as a placement instead. So we have the campaign level where we set the objective and the buying type and a few other things. And then we have the ad set level. Multiple ad sets can go in that one campaign. Then for each ad set, you can have multiple ads at the ad level. The ad level is where we create little posts, ad posts that go to the placements and the audiences that you set at the ad set level. You can create video posts, carousel posts, image posts. There's all different types of ad types that you can use for your ad campaign. Now, depending on what you set for the objective of your ad campaign and the settings you have at the ad set level, your options at the ad level are going to be different. For now, we just know that multiple ads can go within an ad set, and the ad set will determine which ad is best. So to give you an example, right? Let's say we have a campaign with a single objective, and within that we have 2 ad sets. One is for males 18 to 24 in the US going to only Facebook placements, so your newsfeed, your right-hand column, suggested videos. Then we have an ad set that's the exact same audience, but it's only going to Instagram placements, stories, and feed. Then within each ad set, we have 3 different versions of the ad. These versions might differ by the video or images that are in the ad, or they might differ by the copy, the text that's above the ad. That might be a typical setup for an ad campaign. What you want to remember here is that ads are where we create what it looks like and how it acts, and you can have multiple ads within an ad set, which is where we set the audience, the budget, the placement, the schedule, and then multiple ad sets can go within a campaign, which is where we set the objective of the ad. Now, Facebook has 13 different campaign objectives that you can choose from for your ad campaign. But when it comes to marketing a musician or a creative, we typically only use 10 of these objectives. The first objective you're gonna wanna know about, especially as an artist or creative type, is video views. Now, choosing this objective for your ad campaign will have all of your ads with a requirement to have a video in them. You can't use image ads for a video views campaign, obviously. And that's kind of an example of the objective objective that you set having a determination on what options you have at the ad level. When you choose the video views objective, your ad campaign will optimize to get you more video views at a lower cost. When I say optimize, what I mean is that Facebook will collect data and then change how it's behaving based on what your objective is. In this instance, if you choose video views, you're gonna run your ad and Facebook will just distribute it to everybody in the audience that you choose. But once it starts getting views, it's going to pay attention to what types of people out of that larger audience end up actually watching the video. It will create a demographic and psychographic profile of your ideal video watcher and then limit your larger audience down to an optimized audience. Basically, it'll make some assumptions about who the right person is for your ad campaign and throw out everyone who doesn't fit within that range. Now, Facebook optimizes around parameters that aren't just demographic or psychographic information about your audience. It can also optimize around what time of day do people most often watch your video. So if you get 1,000 video views in this ad campaign, it's gonna take those 1,000 and say, around what times of day do these views happen? Then it will start to spend more money during those times of day and less money during the darker periods where people aren't watching your video. So time of day, audience, placement, these all are factors for optimization. Facebook's going to take the successes, the points in time where people actually watch your video, and it's gonna learn everything it can about those successes to run your ad campaign better. We use video views campaigns to expose new audiences to your artwork. So if you're a musician, we're going to take a live candid performance of you just showing your talent, and we're going to use a video views campaign to figure out who's your perfect target audience. Not only can we find them using Facebook's optimization features, but we can expose them to the artwork so that we know we have that first touch with them. First touch meaning we've made contact, right? They've seen your artwork, they dig your brand, they've heard you before. Now this allows us to then run retargeting to those audiences. So just those people who watch your video will see a follow-up ad. And we'll go into that more in a later episode of Tiny Toots, but for now, all you need to know is that we use video view campaigns to create listeners, audience, people who dig your content. The next objective that you're gonna wanna know about is traffic. Traffic objective has Facebook optimizing your campaign around clicks. So in a traffic campaign, you have to have a call to action button on your ad. You probably have seen these ads before. It'll say learn more or download or buy now. These call to action buttons go on your regular ad, and then anyone who clicks that button becomes optimization fodder. They're the right person. Facebook's gonna learn everything they can about that click and then optimize down how the ad campaign is running to get you more of those clicks. The third campaign objective that you're gonna wanna know about is conversions. Now, we've already talked about the different triggers that Facebook optimizes around. So for a video views campaign, it's when somebody watches your video to a significant length. For a traffic campaign, it's when somebody clicks on your ad. That's a trigger for optimization. In a conversions campaign, we can place the trigger for optimization further out than just a click. What I mean by that is, let's say you're running a traffic campaign sending people to a page to sign up for your email list. And when they do sign up, they land on another page, your thank you page. We can use a tool from Facebook ads called the Facebook Pixel, which is a little bit of code that you would put on your website. Pop that right in the header of your thank you page so that when people make it to the thank you page, it calls back to Facebook, hey, this is a conversion. So instead of just getting people to click to that sign up page, you can actually optimize around the people who make it to the thank you page. This is going to get you cheaper signups than if you had just run a traffic campaign. Conversion campaigns have a lot of flexibility. So it could be the thank you page for a sign up. It could be the checkout page for a product that you're selling, or it could be the confirmation page after checkout. You can really place the pixel anywhere on your website and then optimize your Facebook campaign around getting people to that page. But there's an important thing to know about conversions campaigns, which is per ad set that you're running in your conversions campaign, you need at least 50 to 100 conversions to happen per week. With a video views campaign, this is no problem. Even at light budgets, you're definitely gonna get those 100 video views so that Facebook knows enough to optimize. With a traffic campaign, you still need to run a sizable budget, but you're much more likely to get those 100 clicks to allow Facebook to optimize. But with a conversions campaign, it's a little bit more difficult. For something like an email sign up where they're clicking to one page from the ad, signing up, then reaching that thank you page, you're much more likely to get those 100 conversions per week per ad set. But if your conversion pixel is buried on the thank you page for a purchase, they have to click over to the sales page, read the sales message, understand what they're buying, go to checkout, enter their credit card information, press submit, and then land at that page. A lot fewer people are gonna ever make it to that order confirmation page, which is why generally with a conversions campaign, depending on how deep in the experience your conversion pixel is, it's gonna be a little bit harder to optimize, and you definitely wanna keep an eye on it so that you're getting those 50 to 100 conversions per week. Otherwise, you might as well not have Facebook's machine learning optimization available to you. It's as if you were running any other type of campaign. So video views, traffic, and conversion, these are the bread and butter. We use these objectives primarily for every single artist in our music marketing agency, Indie X. But there's a few other we use. There is the lead generation objective. When you use the lead generation objective, every ad in your campaign can't actually click out to a website. When people click on it, it opens a lead form in Facebook. Facebook's lead forms are native to the platform, so you're not leaving Facebook to open that, and then it will pre-populate with all the information Facebook already has. This is an easier way to collect information about your audience. All they have to do is click once to open the lead form, auto-populates with their information, check it, make sure it's right, and then click submit, and boom, they are signed up for whatever you're offering. But the drawback with lead generation campaigns is that the email address Facebook has on file for you probably isn't your email address anymore. So we have trouble with the quality of data that we get from lead generation campaigns. Two campaign objectives that we used to use but don't really anymore are the post engagement and page likes campaign objectives. When you choose the post engagement objective, Facebook will optimize to get you more likes, shares, and comments on your posts. One of the drawbacks of a post engagement campaign is that if you're running a video in your ad, clicking on that video is technically a form of engagement. So it ends up just being like a video views campaign, since you're gonna get way more clicks on that video than you are going to get reactions or shares or comments. A page likes campaign, if you choose that objective, will optimize to find you more page likes. This is a totally sketchy way to build up your audience, especially if you're an artist and you're relying on these people to be very invested in your artwork. The people who just click like on Facebook are not necessarily the people who are going to like your music. Now, a lot of sketchy marketers out there who teach marketing to musicians are going to tell you, hey, run a page likes campaign to Abu Dhabi in the Philippines and Saudi Arabia. You'll rack up page likes. You'll be 10,000 likes deep, and then everyone will think you're big time. Don't do it, okay? Not only will you be optimizing everything about your Facebook page to go to Saudi Arabian click farm workers, but you're gonna have no gauge on your actual fan base. Everything will be a lie. So don't do that, especially if someone's trying to get you to pay them to tell you how to do it. Okay, so we've gone over the important objectives, we've gone over the not so important objectives. Now let's go over some less common objectives that still have a great use for artists. Number one, reach campaigns. Now, reach campaigns don't have any optimization to them. This comes in handy when we have custom retargeting audiences made out of people who have already done something with you. For instance, if we ran a video views campaign and we had an audience of 1,000 people who have watched at least half of that video, we can run a reach campaign to ensure that every person out of that 1,000 person audience will see the follow-up ad. Reach campaigns are great because they're dumb. Facebook's not using machine learning to get you more of a result. And if your audience is really well defined and you know you want to reach every single person in that audience, reach campaigns are cheaper. Basically, if you're using Facebook's optimization features, or Facebook knows that you're gonna be sending people off of Facebook, Facebook's gonna charge you more for your ads. ads. Reach campaigns are the cheapest objective that you can choose because you're not necessarily going to be sending people off Facebook. Facebook doesn't know that, and you're not using any of Facebook's machine learning magic. So reach campaigns are great for us because it allows us a low-cost way to reach every single person in a very well-defined retargeting audience. Next up is the messages objective. Basically, if you were a marketer leading up to 2016, your bread and butter, what you lived and died on as an entrepreneur, was your email list. So you used a lot of conversions objectives to get signups to your email list because email marketing is the most profitable form of marketing. But in 2016, Facebook opened up the API for their Messenger platform. So if you have Facebook, you have Facebook Messenger. Now you can use Facebook Messenger like you would an email list. There are third-party applications like ManyChat which allow you to collect subscribers in the form of people who have messaged your page. Not only that, you can program a fully automated chat bot to send them down choose your own adventure narratives, talk to them, gather information from them, dynamically respond to their needs. There's a lot you can do with Messenger chatbots, so much so that we have a full training on it available in our Indie Pro member area, and there's a link below if you want to check that out. So Messenger marketing is huge, and naturally Facebook ads is giving us the option to get more Messenger conversations. You can set up a chatbot to deliver promised value to anyone who ends up in that little chatbot loop, and then you connect that loop to an ad. Now you have an ad out there circulating that's offering people something of value if they just click that button and talk to you in Messenger. Every person who clicks that button becomes a subscriber, which is awesome, and those subscribers end up opening and clicking those messages a lot more than they do in email. When you choose this objective, Facebook will optimize to get you more of those Messenger subscribers. It's cheaper because you're not sending people off of the Facebook platform. The open and click rates are higher. There's just no drawbacks here. It's badass. So building an awesome Messenger list is made all the more easy by Facebook's Messenger objective. And lastly, we have event responses, the objective that allows us to build up good, solid, tight audiences for a live show. Since we market musicians, artists through our marketing agency, this is a objective that we use a lot. Basically, with this objective, you can create a Facebook event, which a lot of us are very familiar with, and then you can create an ad that links out directly to that Facebook event page. When choosing the event responses objective, this ad will optimize to get you more attendees, more people who RSVP for that event. This is cool because it allows us to pre-qualify audiences. What I mean by that is we might have 20,000 people who have expressed some interest in an artist, but we don't know how interested they might be in going to a show. Every time we put an ad in front of them, we're paying to show it to them. So if they don't buy tickets on that first touch, we're paying out the ass for multiple touches. With a Facebook event response campaign, we can get them to RSVP for this event, which is a lot more low impact ask than buy tickets right now. Then we get free touches in that event. We can post in that event and most of the respondents will see it. That way we don't have to run ad after ad after ad, cranking up our budget. We can just get them to RSVP for this event and then nurture them in the event page. Okay, so in this episode, we learned the 3 levels of a Facebook ad campaign. Campaign level, we set the objective, the name of the campaign, and the auction or bid type. The ad set level, there can be multiple ad sets within one campaign, and at the ad set level, we set the audience, the budget, the schedule, and the placement. Then the ad level, where we create the actual post that people are going to see, the ad. And there can be multiple ads within each ad set. We also learned about the objectives that Facebook campaigns can have. We learned that objectives are simply ways to tell Facebook what you're trying to get more of, and Facebook will optimize to find you more of that result at a cheaper cost. And then we went through the objectives that are relevant to artists, musicians, people trying to build an audience around entertainment. In the next episode of Tiny Toots, we'll be diving even deeper into this concept, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Please like this video if it proved helpful to you. If you learned a little bit, it goes a long way to making sure other people can find us too. And subscribe and ring the bell if you'd like to get more of these videos as they come out. I promise you we're going to be talking a lot about Facebook ads in Tiny Toots over the next few weeks. And if you want a full deep dive into Facebook ads and every other marketing concept that we cover, you can join Indie Academy Pro today, where you'll have access to a full training vault with pretty much everything we know about these concepts and how to use it to further your artistic career. With that said, I've been Circa for Full Stack Creative. This has been Tiny Toots, and I'll see you next week for another itty bitty teeny tiny little bitty toot.